Leadership is a big part of my brand. Personal branding is a big part of my brand. Bar associations are a huge part of my brand. So is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Being a Black woman and like who I am, my lens on the world is a big part of what my brand is. And so those sort of staples are things that I often talk about. Networking, that's another part, is something that's in my brand. Being a mother, right? The things that make me who I am, and then the skills and value that I bring are part of my personal brand.
If you're not currently tracking your wins and your challenges on your own, you need to start. So this is a good way to check your brand growth, right? To understand your brand vision and your goals is to, when people give you compliments, you want to, I like to take pictures of things and save them in a file so I can go back on days that are not that great and be like, that was great. And also understanding the challenges so that you can really think about a strategy on how to work on them.
So, as you may be able to tell, I like to make sure Paula is in your mind when you're thinking about personal branding. So I want you to think, as PD professionals, if you just listen to what Paula says, you will have LinkedIn success. That is this layout right here.
Your personal brand is how you are known, what you are known for, and what you want to be known for. And I think it's important for people to understand that every single one of us has a personal brand, whether you recognize it or believe it or really know what it is or not.
Yeah, personal brand is a set of, I'd say, attributes that people attach to a particular individual or a product or a thing. Mm-hmm. But these are intangible attributes that people associate with you as a person that is developed over time.
What does a personal brand mean to you? How do you define it?
Your personal brand is what you're known for, what people trust you to do, and hopefully what you enjoy doing or are best known for.
For me, the personal brand is, how do I communicate my unique values and gifts to the world? So I think it's a mix of my personality, my skills, my reputation, my expertise, my heart, and then how that translates in a way that helps me achieve both my personal and professional goals.
You made me think about this longer than I thought I should have needed to, but I think a brand is who I think I am. And if not, it's who I want to be.
Oh.
And that means that it's something you have to continuously work on because you are always forming biases.
A brand is just not built because you say you want it to be built. It's time over time over time, and how you show up, how you internalize feedback, and how you act on it. All of that helps how you sort of do stretch assignments or do things that are newer to you in order to gain better skills, how you decide to take trainings to get better at things and use professional development in very strategic ways. All of those help you to amplify and build your brand.
When you do it properly, you give feedback. You're investing, right? You're saying, I care about your trajectory. I want you to get better. I'm going to communicate that. We are going to engage, not just around challenging feedback, but feedback generally. Like, here's what we did well. Here's where you can do better, and build relationships so that there is trust that's developed that will lead to retention and hopefully elevation. That's how I see what the imperative is for feedback. So often the theme is, but we've always done it this way, Paula. And I'm like, well, yeah, I get it. But what I'm saying is the we who is doing it is very different now. And if you want to have the continuity of leadership development and succession, you have to be able to shift to that end. One best practice that I suggest that partners do often is to say to associates, the ones that they have built relationships and they have trust and they trust, is what don't I know that I need to know? It is imperative for you to build your network. And I know sometimes people think, well, networking is so kind of transactional, et cetera. And it is, but it also isn't. If you think about it as an investment into not just now, but also going forward, as opposed to what you can get, thinking about what you can give, but think about your network and the relationships that you build as like a bank account, right? That you are right now, you're in a space where you are investing, you are putting things in, you are building up the people who you know. for the opportunity, hopefully at some point, to be able to withdraw. Lots of times people will invest in you without you having built the equity. And other times it will take a lot longer for you to be able to withdraw because you have not built relationships. But you should always be doing it.
My therapist often says that growth begins where comfort ends. However, we tend to not be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? And so it is incumbent upon us to start to try to navigate this differently, because we interact with folks who are different all the time. When we think about the diversity dimensions, most people have different dimensions that are not similar to us, but we're looking for that similarity. And if that means that if I feel like you're similar to me, then I'm going to give you benefits that other people aren't going to get, we have to mitigate that, because it means that other people are going to feel as if they don't belong and then they're not included. And that's what we are trying to work towards, is inclusion and belonging.
We are all impacted by bias. As human beings, we all have biases that come from different places, show up in different ways. But the more that we can be self-aware about our biases, right, taking the Harvard Implicit Association test, understanding that there have been actually studies that show that oftentimes we may not give certain groups the same feedback, and challenging ourselves and using our resources to stay consistent and to be very thoughtful, even if we're uncomfortable. It's something that we have to do. And I say we because I include myself in this, because I feel as if I'm one of you, because I'm committed to all of your collective success, right? When you do this well and you make a point to create connection, it's better. I will say that sometimes well-meaning does not mean well-doing. Intent does not equate impact. And this is really important, right? Because even if you will call yourself an ally and endeavor to be on your ally journey, it can happen in that your privilege and the way our biases are shaped, that you can leverage microaggressions on folks, whether you meant to or not, and impact how you navigate with each other. Really, real inclusion means that everybody's having these conversations, everybody's thinking with that lens in order to make the organization, make the firm one where you all want to be, one where everybody can thrive.